We should tell everybody a little bit about the rig that you're playing to so they have an understanding of when the guitar sounds really cool from where I'm sitting. So you've brought a pedal board with you, and then we'll go to the amp and the cabinet after that.
Okay.
So by the way, as far as I know, there's just a microphone on the cabinet, no EQ, no compression. That's just the way it sounds. And if they don't mess with it later, it'll sound as good as I just heard it. And I just got a nod that it's not going to be messed with, which is very cool. But what's in your pedal board here, David?
This is sort of a smaller pedal board that I take, that I can check on the airlines and not have a fear that it'll all come apart or that they'll confiscate it. But I go into a tuner, and then I have an Exotic Effects EP booster, which is a kind of a clean boost that I've really fallen in love with. It's got some internal dip switches on it, and I put the treble switch to the vintage mode to kind of keep the treble the same as if the pedal was not on. Then I go into, right now I have a full-tone plimsoll on here, which is a higher gain pedal. This slot sort of alternates out. I try different things there all the time. And it goes into an Arion stereo chorus.
Which I've always liked the sound of this.
Yeah, things. I mean, I use this for more like a Leslie kind of thing.
Very close to a ham, but it's cool.
Yeah, and then it goes into the Line 6
it's an echo machine.
Delay modeler, yeah. And the reason I like this pedal so much is because it has 3 presets. So, you know, rather than having to bend over and worry that your T-shirt's too short on the gig or anything like that, I've got the sounds that I want kind of pre-programmed. And the way I do it is the first position is like more of a slapback. Second position is a medium delay it's not very loud. The actual delay level is not set that loud, so it just gives it a kind of some space and an ambience that you don't really hear in the mix, but it's there, and it gives it another dimension. And the third position is, which I actually do change that when the mix level on it. It's set pretty to where there is a fair amount of delay. It's a longer delay with modulation. So
sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. So I have all those 3 things there, those 3 different delays that I can call on. And my philosophy in this board is really born out of my kind of love for single channel amps. And I personally haven't had a whole lot of good luck with double channel amps. And I prefer one good channel, one good sound that I can work with and build off of. And the Super Dallas is really, it's one of the new PRS amps that I've really fallen in love with. That and the Anniversary, and the Signature as well, all single channel amps. And the way I approach it is, even though it's a single channel amp, I kind of think with this guitar, which cleans up really beautifully when you turn it down, and these pedals, I kind of turn it into a 4-channel amp. And I'll show you what I mean by that. With this, so here's the guitar turned all the way up. Okay, so if I want a cleaner tone, I'm going to turn the volume down to about 6 or 7. And that works beautiful with.
Just hit the echo pedal.
Yeah, I just put that longer echo on. You can do you don't have to have any echo at all. So that's my clean tone.
That's that 3-note thing I was talking about.
That's the clean, that's sort of my clean tone. Now, of course, if I want it even cleaner, I hit the coil tap. So, and then you get, and again, with the 2 volume controls, you can blend both pickups, which in the past with the McCarty we couldn't do.
That's all without the gain switches on.
Yeah, I'm going straight, there's nothing on now. I just put some echo on so you hear it with the really. But that's, that you heard how the amp sounds turned all the way up, and I'm not playing that much quieter. So that's my clean tone, and in live it works beautifully because when you're playing rhythm, you kind of want to come down in volume a notch too. So if the next step up, my next channel is to have the guitar turned all the way up, but not necessarily attack the guitar too hard. I'll play soft, I'll maybe mute the strings. So that's another level of gain. And if I really want my rhythm stuff or even solos to kind of go to the 3rd channel, I'll play harder. So I haven't touched anything from that. To go from that to. I'm just manipulating the volume of the guitar and how hard I attack it. So you've got. Now are we at channel 4 yet? I don't know, but with solos, I'll hit this EP booster. And the beauty of that is, taking that off, the tone, it's the same quality of tone.
Right,
and so it just I'm hitting the front of the amp harder. And if I want more gain for channel 4 or 5, I don't know where we are now, I have this pedal, which I will turn up a little bit to get it at the right level. And that, I use that for a higher gain thing. I'm still trying to figure this pedal out a little bit. But it also, if you'll hear, you hear that tone, and it's definitely rolls some of the top end off, and it's more of a mid-rangey.
Well, it's feeding back beautifully. That sounds like Texas in a box to me. I think you should keep that pedal.
Well, here's the EP booster again. That was turned off right there, but. So anyway, I get to retain the dynamics and the feel of the single channel amp. And by having a guitar that is really responsive and that cleans up when you turn down, and then adding these 2 extra pedals, it's like everything that you would get in a multi-channel amp, at least for me, is right here, and I keep a purer tone. Yeah. And that's always been my goal.
A lot of it's controller from the guitar as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. you have gone through a lot of our amp models, and you've listed several that you like to play through. But I got a call last night that this is the amp that Derek Trucks is really enjoying right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Warren Haynes was using one of these, as now he's playing through the 25th anniversary. But there's a lot going on with this amp that I like as well, which is cool.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I can tell within 2 or 3 notes whether I'm going to love an amplifier or where I'm going to hate it. And this amp really, you know, I mean, immediately when I plugged into it, I knew I was going to dig it. And you know, I've just kind of been on board with the amps from the word go, and some of the initial designs didn't really do it for me personally. Yeah. And then in the last year, 6 months, it's like a whole nother thing to where I'm like, I don't even use my vintage stuff